Okay, update time on the RCA 87K2. I keep saying RCA 87K. Say that 5 times fast. I keep saying that, but I forget to put the 2 in there. Anyway, I have decided to pull the transformer because I don't like the way these wires in here look. They all look all ratty, and I'm thinking maybe they might be shorting out a little bit. That's why this is drawing so much current, because I replaced a whole bunch of these capacitors in here, and that one, and it didn't really make much of a difference. I don't want to pull the transformer because there's like about 11 wires or so hooked up to it, and it's going to be a little difficult to figure out where they hook up to. But as our old buddy John says, piece of cake. So anyway, yep, and these capacitors down here, I think they're micas. So I'm going to leave these alone. All these black ones here. That one right here says, what does it say? Something like 100 picofarads. It looks like a paper one, but it's only 100 picofarads. So I don't know. It could be mica, because paper ones don't usually go down that low. Because these are really small value capacitors in here. So anyway, I'm gonna start cutting and labeling wires, I guess, and pull that transformer out. Alright, well, I'm glad I got this off, because this wiring is just completely unacceptable. I mean, look at all the breaks, fraying going on. I mean, you just touch these wires and they pretty much disintegrate. But I got them all labeled. These are supposedly supposed to be red on the schematic anyway. And that's going to pin 2 with the 5W4 rectifier. This is going to the 5W4. It's one of the green wires. This is actually green. And we got some brown ones and different ones going to different pins. So I just labeled them all like that. So I'm going to try and get this apart and kind of rewire this, put some new wires on them one at a time, and put these labels back on the wires that the new wires that I put on, and we should be good to go. And by the way, this chassis you guys have never seen before. This is the Philco 20. I've been working on this lately. This one's been sitting down there in this box since like 2011, back when I got this radio, and I never really worked on it. I had the parts and everything right here, but I just had never gotten around to working on it. So I got all these. This is the filter capacitor block, and I got them all numbered right here. All the solder lugs. So I'm just gonna cut all the wires off and restuff them. Restuff this thing. And this is kind of a lot more simpler radio than that one over there. So I'm just kind of doing this off the camera. See, I got all my tube number, pin numbers labeled and everything. I'm not really going to make a video of the restoration of this one, because my main focus is going to be on that one. So anyway, we'll come back to this transformer in a little while. Well, they sure didn't give me a lot to work with here. I was hoping for some nice terminals to solder to, but I guess that's not going to happen. Looks like they kind of tarred it in there. So I guess I'll have to remove this cardboard, which is falling apart. Just like that, and then we will, oops, not filming. Then we got to separate these wires. And I don't want to pull on these too much. Just kind of get them separated. It's hard to do this one-handed. Yeah, Yeah, these are all falling apart. But yeah, anyway, I'm going to get them separated, get them stripped, get some new wire spliced on there, and one at a time relabel them and liquid tape it all up nice and put it back together. Alright, well, I got the transformer all rewired. Just let the liquid tape dry on there a little bit. But yep, I got everything labeled, so I know where to hook them back up under the chassis. And I'm debating whether to replace this. This is kind of nasty, but I don't really have anything to replace it with. I don't want to use cardboard or anything. I can get some kind of plastic or something to fit in there, it might work, but maybe I'll just clean it up and stick it back in there. Well, here we are at another rainy day. It's been raining like this all week. Like pretty much non-stop, just raining all the time. And everything's just saturated out here. I better get inside before the camera gets wet. Well, I've been debating whether to like get rid of this thing or try and reuse it. And this thing is so darn brittle, it's just falling apart, you know, like that. It's not really worth saving. So I kind of had an idea. I was trying to think of what I could use. And I had this package here from the wall anchors that I got for fixing the light sockets. And you know, it was originally this shape here, you know. So I cut it up a little bit so I could. It's a little bit wider than this, but it might just fit in there. Might have to modify it a little bit more. Maybe put a cut in it and kind of squeeze it together a little bit. Maybe tape it. But yeah, that should work in there pretty good. That'd be a heck of a lot better than this. Because this is like 77 years old, so it's pretty much no good. Alright, well, what I ended up doing was I cut this down the middle, just like this, and used a little Loctite here and glued it together. So now all I gotta do is wait for it to dry, but that fits in there perfect, so I think that'll work. Okay, well, I've been working on this all day, and I finally got every single wire soldered up in there where it's supposed to go. So that should be good. Got the power wires soldered here. Everything's all new wiring. Still some old ratty wiring here I think I'm going to change out, but that's all I'm going to do for this on this radio today, because I've been working on this half the day trying to get this all soldered in here, so we'll figure out something to do next time. Okay, well, we're back working on this again, and unfortunately we've run into a little problem, and I'm going to show you what's going on here. I can just zoom in here. I've got my tripod today so I can easily show you guys without shaking the camera all over the place. Now, if we can get a pen here so I can point out. See these green wires right here? This one here and this one here. Let's see if I can get my hand out of the way. That one there and this one here. Those two are supposedly the filament wires for the 5W4 tube. See, if you look on the schematic, we can focus in here. So here's the, it's hard to do this, look through the viewfinder. Here's the 5W4, and you've got green wires going to pin 2 and pin 8 on the 5W4. So then you look in here, and you can see you've got pin 2, and you can't really see because this resistor's in the way, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 which is hooked up to this, which is pin 8. And for some reason, for one, I'm not getting any continuity from these two green wires, okay? But the other weird thing is I'm getting voltage out of there. Because I did power it up, and I'll power it up right now. The 5W4 is removed, so just gotta turn our switches on here. Now, as you can see, down here, it's not drawing any current at all. Actually, is it? Oh, because it's not plugged in. There. Let's plug it in. There we go. See, it's drawing very little current, which is good, but that's because the rectifier tube is not plugged in. But even with it plugged in, I wasn't getting any current draw at all. Like before I rewired the transformer, it was drawing about maybe 2.5, almost 3 amps. But now it's drawing like almost nothing. So get back up here. We'll do a little check here. Let's check to see what voltage we're getting out of those two pins there. We're getting about 5.5 volts, which is pretty much normal, you know, because this 5W4 tube, the filament voltage is 5 volts, I'm assuming, because it's 5W4. But if we turn this off and go over to resistance scale, and check for continuity, I'll even turn on the buzzer here, if I can find it. There. Okay, so now we got that. I go in here. Wait a minute. Okay, now that's weird because that's got continuity to ground. I wonder why that is. Well, anyway, I got no continuity from here to here. So I'm thinking there's about 3 different possibilities what's going on here. Either A, which is probably the most likely possibility, I've got the wrong wires hooked up in here. I mean, I went to great lengths to kind of label all the wires, make sure I get them all right, but it's possible I might have screwed one or two of them up. They go to the 5W4 because there's a lot of these wires that go to the 5W4 tube, and I might have mixed a couple up. That's what I'm thinking might have happened. Second possibility is one of these wires might have come loose inside here. You know, when I went to splice it together, maybe it came loose somewhere else, possibly. And the third possibility, which is something I don't really want to think about, but I might have an open winding in the transformer. But that doesn't really make any sense because the funny thing is I'm getting a normal amount of voltage out of those two green wires, but yet I have no continuity. And I just discovered, you watched me discover, that I've got continuity from this pin here to ground. So let me just pause the video and see if there's a connection to ground here. I must have screwed something up. Alright, just trace this out a little bit. This wire here is going to this one, which goes down to this, which is just a terminal thing, which goes through this capacitor, which goes to ground. Now why am I getting continuity? Let's try something here. Why is it making noise and I'm not even touching this side? That's weird. Okay, that's weird. Unless that capacitor's shorted. I don't know. I didn't get a... That's weird. because I didn't get a I ordered the wrong voltage for this capacitor here. I got like what did I get? I accidentally ordered a couple of 10 volt or 100 volt instead of 450 volt, which is what I would rather order. I wonder if that capacitor right there is shorted. Guess there's only one way to find out. Really don't want to cut that lead, but might have to. I'm actually going to unplug this even though the power's off, just to be safe. Let's see. Still got, yep, still got it. Alright, I'm going to clip that just for the heck of it. Clip that. Now let's see. Oh. Huh. Alright, let's turn that off here. Alright. That capacitor might be shorted. Sorry if my arms are getting in the way. It's kind of hard to see what I'm doing. I've got 0 ohms when I got on both sides of that capacitor there. That capacitor is dead shorted. There's no other way around it. That's a dead short right there. What size is that? 10 microfarads at 450 volts. I wonder if I have a capacitor here that'll fit that here. Hold on a second. Alright, I do not have a 10 microfarad capacitor at 450 volts, so I'm going to have to order one. There's another one right here. Let's check that one and see if that one's shorted. Because those are the only 2 capacitors that I didn't replace because they look relatively new. Let's see here. Getting out of limit in the mega ohm scale, whatever that means. Try this here. Alright, well, at least it's not beeping. This thing here, of course, now this one's not doing it either. It's weird. That was shorted like 5 minutes ago, now it's not. What the heck is going on here? Anyway, let's try switching the leads here. Don't know if that'll do anything. Nope. Maybe it's only shorted when it's powered up, but once it kind of discharges, it goes away. That's what I'm guessing. I don't know. Anyway, well, I know I gotta order. I gotta order a couple more 10 microfarad at 450 volts. So I still don't know if that's the problem with the leads off of this transformer either, because it should be getting continuity there. And I'm not getting anything. But yet I'm getting like 5 volts out of it when it's powered up. So I don't know. I guess I'll guess I'll just have to order those capacitors and get them in there and see what happens after that. So I think I'll just wrap this video up for now. And of course, I know there's a lot of people that are more knowledgeable about this kind of stuff with me than I am, because I'm still kind of in the learning phase, especially when it comes to troubleshooting. I'm not the world's best troubleshooter. I can go in there and replace all the parts I want, you know, but when it comes to troubleshooting, I'm still kind of weak in that area. So, yeah, we'll just keep on trucking here and see what happens next after I get those capacitors in. So, thanks for watching.